Pelicans, take flight, take flight. Pelicans, take flight. Take flight, 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 pelicans, take flight. Take flight. Let's go. This is the Penta Smoothie King Center. Pelicans take flight, no surrender. Ball hard in the paint, no pretender. Fly high, so up to the top. All when we play together, we can't be stopped. No, the other 29 teams gon' hate. Let them hate. That's okay, we the best. Let it dominate. Unfly, but we fly high. The only limit we got is the sky. Stand our ground, we never back down. Win the freeze, gon' take us to the ground. Play hard, 48 minutes. Deep up, play smoke, we'll finish it. Pelicans, take flight, take flight, take flight. Come on and take flight. Boom! What's going on, everybody? This is your boy DJ Elson from the State of the Pelicans broadcast. As you seen on the screen, bro, Pelicans lose to the Utah Jazz twice. And the first score was 102 to 8, 102 to Utah Jazz 118. I'm gonna first talk about that score and how that game played, and then I'm gonna talk about tonight's game, which is was 121 2021, if I said that right. Correct. So, um, let's see. Hold on. So, as the Pelicans lose to Utah Jazz twice, which was the 102-118. And I'm sorry, I don't have none of this shit written down. I'm just going by, by me. I'm actually on Instagram right now. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, correct. So the other stat line was um 102 to 118. Zion Williamson, 32 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Brandon Ingram, 17 points, four assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Nakia Alexander Walker, 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. Eric Bledsoe, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. Josh Hart, 8 points and 5 rebounds. Lonzo Ball, 7 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. Steven Adams, 6 points, 9 rebounds, and JJ Redick, 6 points and 2 rebounds. Um, well, I mean, there you have it, guys. That is the 102 to 118. Now, as we all know, I guess they say, well, look, we got to hit more threes. Well, that didn't come out right because we lose to them again. Come on. So I guess they said, well, that didn't work because here it is. Just give me a second. I'm gonna show my screen, y'all. All right. So the Pelicans and the Utah Jazz, they battle it out again. Okay, I'm gonna keep saying this until we win a championship. We cannot go play a 48-minute basketball game and win one quarter. We won the first quarter, which I was shocked. Everybody was in threes. Zion hit his first three of the season. I mean, like everybody was hitting. So that first quarter, they kind of got me in the game. That second quarter, I don't know what the hell was going on. Then the third quarter, they scored 30. We put up 23 points. Fourth quarter, I guess if I say we could have had maybe excuse me, if we had maybe an extra 5 to 6 minutes, we probably would have beat the Utah Jazz. I mean, the score was damn not close, 118 to 129. But then again, like I said, we cannot win games if it's 10 or more turnovers. Let's look at the team stats. All right, so we shot pretty much decent in this game. We shot 11 for 25 from deep, which was 44.44%. Free throws, we got to hit our free throws. I mean, we had 23 over 30, so there's 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that's 7. We lost by no more than 10 because you gotta include the 2 technical fouls by Stephen Gunton. So, I mean, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 20. So we lost by at least 11 or 12 points. Now, if the Stan Van Gundy, when the did what he did, knock two down, we probably lose this game by 9. Zion Williamson's our leading scorer with 27. There's a Donovan Mitchell. He put up 36. Shooting from 11 from 19 and 8 for 8. Zion, he missed 2 free throws, shooting 8 for 10, 9 for 14. Rebounds. Steven Adams didn't do. He tried, but he didn't really do too much because of Rudy Gobert. He had 16 and 10. Well, I mean, 16 rebounds. That's about it. I mean, he scored, but that's about it. We killed him off for rebounds, 41 to 39, assists, tied, blocks. Rudy Gobert killed us in that. Steals, we got one on them. Talk about turnovers, y'all. We cannot win games if it's 10 or more turnovers. Name me one team that win a game and they had 10 to 20 turnovers. Y'all put that in the comment section below. If y'all can name me one team, just one, I'll give y'all two. Give me 1 or 2 teams that win a game with 10 or more turnovers in basketball. You know damn well you can't do it in the NFL. We witnessed that with you breathe. But we're not gonna talk about that though. Uh like I said, y'all, we gotta win more than one quarter to actually win the game. Turnover, we gotta cut down turnovers. We have to. If you're a fan of any team, you gotta cut down off the turnovers. They gave us 18, we gave them 15, or vice versa. Same thing. Turnovers, turnovers. Uh, Free throws, we pretty much did pretty good. Like I said, we missed about maybe let's see, because I want on my Mac. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we missed 7 free throws tonight. This was a win-win situation. The way that first quarter was hitting. I mean, let's go back to the box scores. Like I said, Zion Williamson, he was the leading scorer. Behind him was Brandon Ingram. He had 23 and 2. Steven Adams, he had 16 and 3. He had 5 turnovers. Lonzo Ball came out the gate 14 points, 5 assists with 3 turnovers. Eric Bledsoe hit us with 8 and 3. He didn't really do too good. And behind Lonzo, the bench was J.J. Redick. So behind him was J.J. Redick with 11 and 3. Shooting 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 2 for 4 from deep, 3 for 6, and had 19 minutes. Everybody else scored under 10 points. It was really much garbage time, like 2 to 1 minute, in the game. I finally seen Sendarius Stone. I mean, not Sendarius Stone, but I'm sorry. Uh, Naja Marshall. Uh, I want to see more. Just the fact that I finally seen him in the Pelican uniform. I finally seen him on the court, but it was garbage time. I mean, I want to like instead of Josh Hart, put in Naja Marshall. Let's see what he could do. If Stan Van Gundy can know how to play that bench, we will go fine. Nah, well, instead of the Pelicans or DJ, what? Who's Nigel Marshall? He's a 6'7", small, small to power forward. I mean, he's 6'7". I mean, he's an inch taller than Zion. He has the body of a 6'7". Um, I mean, yeah, I mean that's about it. So Darius Stonewall knocked down the three to actually get it to 118. Nikhil he had 11 points uh, off the bench as well. I'm sorry. So it was JJ. It was between JJ and Nikhil. Um, I mean, as you all know, Donovan Mitchell killed us with 36, 7, and 4. Mike Conley, he killed us with 20 and 6. Rudy Gobert, he killed us with 12 and 11. Bogdanovich, he killed us with 16 and 3. Uh, Jordan Clarkson, off the bench, he scored 19. So that's pretty much where all these bench points came from. With Jordan Clarkson. Um, like I said, we cannot win games if we have 10 or more turnovers. That's the first cue. The second cue is um, we have to win more quarters. I don't care what sport you playing, especially basketball. If you're gonna win, if you win one or more quarters, you have a possible chance of winning the game. Um, that's it, y'all. I mean, that's all I got for y'all. The Pelicans lose twice to Utah Jazz, making our record 5-9. So we won 5, lost 9 in a row. We won the Sacramento Kings matchup, so shout out to them. I mean, shout out to us. Um, That's about it, y'all. It's up for grabs. Our next game is against our next game is against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that is on my birthday. That is this Saturday, and the game is going to tip off at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports New Orleans, ESPN. If you're listening to the radio show, if you download the Pelican app, they're going to show you at Target Center, 10.3 FM. And while I'm at it, here is here's the post game interview with Stan Van Gundy.
First quarter looked so good. Those adjustments seemed to be working, and then from the second quarter on, not so much. What in your mind changed?
Well, I mean, our pace offensively slowed down. We didn't play with much pace or force on the offensive end. We quit making shots, and defensively, we really weren't good the entire game. We just weren't. We just don't put any pressure on anybody. I mean, it's very comfortable to play against us. We've got to change our defense. I mean, I'm not saying we don't have some offensive problems, but we can't give up this number of points and have any chance of having a good season. We just can't, and we're going to have to develop a much, 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 much better defensive mentality and pride than we have right now.
Yeah, it was a scorching first half, and then that second half, the opposite. No made field goals, just free throws. Could you tell that they started attacking him differently? Did he just cool off?
He had a great first quarter, and after that, they played him pretty well. I'll have to watch the film, but yeah, he wasn't a factor in the game after the first quarter.
But can you put your finger on the end of the second quarter? That's the second time in as many nights that basically the latter stages of the second quarter, Utah was able to flip momentum.
Yeah, we don't sustain our play, and when you don't guard, you're totally dependent on making shots. And we hit a stretch there where we didn't make shots, and it's been a long time since we've really, played any kind of defense that'll weather those kind of storms. And so that's what happened at the end of the second quarter. We missed shots, and we have a total inability to stop anybody.
How do you feel Lonzo Ball played tonight?
Here's the thing. He was okay, but, this isn't an individual thing. It's not some guys are good, some guys aren't. It's not that. It's a collective. We're not defending hard enough. We've got to get a defensive mentality and have some pride on that end of the floor. And on the offensive end, we've got to sustain pace and ball movement and player movement and passing the ball, playing together for the entire night, not just when our shots are falling. And then when it gets tough, we become a stand-around isolation one-on-one team. So there are instances of good play. There's certainly the first quarter tonight was really promising in terms of what we can do. But we've got to toughen up and take some responsibility and start doing this on a more consistent basis. And our defense has to come around, or to be quite honest, nothing else matters.
Does it feel like you guys are just taking a serious step back on the defensive end? And is that disappointing considering that was supposed to be an identity for the team coming into the year?
Yeah, I do think we've taken a step back. I don't think that we're taking great pride in it individually or as a group.
And just for you, we didn't get to see it on TV. Can you tell us what happened on the ejection and what the rest might have told you?
I mean, clearly I had some things to say, and I got tossed. So there's really not a lot to say, and I'm not really willing to send 35 or 100 on those guys.
Mark here. I mean, how difficult is it to do the things you want to do defensively when there are limited practices like this you're playing every day? How much of a challenge is that part of it?
Well, it is a challenge, but look, I mean, our problem right now, in my mind, isn't schematic. I mean, it is, and we're trying to make some adjustments. I'm not absolving us from us trying to help, but guard the ball, get up into people, put some pressure on, guard the ball, don't get beat off the dribble, close out hard, block out, rebound the ball. Come on. We can do that without 2.5 hours every day of practice time. We got to toughen up.
Stan, Scott Kushner from all.com, where does that start? I mean, is there a leader that needs to start with? This team has not been together very long. It doesn't seem like there's a very obvious place for this. Do you put the onus on an individual at this point, or how do you kind of communicate that? And where does it have to? I mean, there has to be a head of the snake at some point, right?
Well, it's supposed to be me, and obviously I'm not getting the job done there, Scott. So that's where I put the onus as far as leadership. But look, you don't need to be together long to go out and put some pressure on the ball and get down and take some pride in containing the ball and to close out hard. You don't need to be together long to do that. Now, schematically and things like that and rotations, okay, there may be some mistakes, but the intensity level, you don't need to be together for that.
But, I mean, I guess I'm speaking from a pride or whatever perspective. Do you need someone in that locker room to just kind of take control of that? I mean, is it hard to explain that kind of thing for those guys? I mean, obviously, it can't just come from a coach, I would say.
No, it's got to come from 16 players and the coaching staff. Not one guy. There's not one guy who's going to stand up and motivate everybody or any of that. Every guy needs to take some responsibility on the defensive end of the floor to do their job, and so they can start to trust each other. We don't have enough individual responsibility on the defensive end of the floor.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, thanks, guys.
You heard it from the man. The Stan Van the man. Our next interview, we're gonna hear from the shooting guard. Lonzo Ball.
Where are you seeing the breakdowns right now on the defensive end?
Pick and rolls. That's been the toughest thing for us this year, and I think it's causing a lot of problems on defensive end, and giving up good shots to the other team.
And can you just elaborate on that and help us understand why the pick and roll has been so tricky for you guys?
I think we just gotta figure out what coverage we want to do. Last game we ran a red, and they were making an extra pass to the corner three. Tonight the guards were coming off. We got them big a little bit back, and they were making plays, going downhill. So you Utah's a good team. We just got to get back, and watch the film and try to get better from it.
Concerning is the defense right now, considering that was supposed to be a identity for you guys coming into the season, and it's kind of taking a step back the past few weeks.
For sure. I mean, we gotta do much better on that side of the ball. We know when we play good defense, we give our team a much better chance to win. And this was winning basketball games, and we know we have to play defense in order to do that.
Hey, Christian Clark here again. Look, I know sometimes you're going to make shots, sometimes you're going to miss shots, but outside of just shot making, was there anything you guys were doing offensively in the first quarter that was different than the last three quarters?
I feel like we were running a lot more. We were playing with a lot more, thrust on that side of the ball, and I think we got to try to maintain that for 4 quarters.
Yeah, I mean that's something you do. We want to try to play with a little more pace. Just why do you think it's been difficult to, sustain that for 48 minutes?
I'm not sure. Like I said, we got to look at the tape.
All right, you heard it from Lonzo Ball. That was Lonzo Ball, the shooting guard. No, shooting guard. Here is the number 1 overall pick, Zion Williamson.
Hi, Christian Clark here with Pels.com. Did you feel like you guys were doing anything differently to create shots in the first quarter as opposed to the last 3 quarters there?
Yeah, we were moving the ball a lot. We were moving the ball, we were moving off the ball as well. I think we just started looking at it.
And I mean, why do you think there was just that lack of movement in 3 quarters?
I guess we got complacent. We got comfortable, and we just didn't stick to it. And we just got to learn to stick to it.
I know we've asked this before, but what do you think it's going to take to kind of get some of the?
Yeah, Will, we lost you there for a second.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was saying, I know we asked you this before, but what's it going to take to get some of the defensive issues under control? Seems like you guys are taking a step back these past few weeks.
We've had our ups and downs, but got to give Utah their respect. Utah is an incredible team when it comes to driving, kicking, and not settling out the first option, second option, or third option. They're going to use all their options before they get a good shot. And, the team like that, we need that. We need that. We need to go against that. I think even though we got 2 losses from them, I think ultimately we learned from it.
Hey, Christian Clark here. We've been saying a lot about schemes and all that. Do you think tonight? I mean, is that how much of that was just a matter of I don't know. I mean, pride and energy and effort on the defensive end. I mean, was that a part of it?
Yeah, that was a part of it, but it wasn't as big as part of it as it was the game before. Like I said, you just got to give Utah the respect. They hit some shots where, even in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, it's off, but they hit some good shots. That's what they do.
Losing 7 of the last 8, just how you guys are feeling about just where you guys are headed and what the issues are right now.
Honestly, our team went through something similar to this last year. It's a long season. If we sit here and let that bother us, things aren't going to get better. So it's like I said, we lost, but ultimately we just got to learn from it.
The defense, coming out of training camp, I mean, it seemed like it was in a pretty good place, and it's in a little bit of a different place now. Is it hard to keep that level of defense up when you're not really practicing that often? I mean, is that a factor at all? I guess.
It's a little factor. I'm not gonna say it's a big factor, but This is the NBA. Excuse me. This is the NBA. Our opponents are trained to adapt against our schemes, and we're trained to adapt against their counters. So we played amazing defense at first, but we're in that stage where we just gotta learn how to counter it and adjust to their counters.
All right, Z, appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
All right, that was Zion Williamson, Pelican small / power forward. You heard it from here. I might go live tomorrow for Brandon Ingram, Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, and the rest of the gang. But that's all for tonight. Hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Happy Friday. And this has been your host, your CEO of the State of the Pelicans broadcast. This is DJ, and I'm signing out. Peace.